Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Angel Martinez here, head of marketing at Social Connections. I have Myra Ortiz here. She is a hairstylist out of Scottsdale, Arizona. So we recently just wrapped up a campaign. It was a trial campaign for her out here in Scottsdale, Arizona, to bring in hair, clients for her, or new clients, new leads for her. And so I think um, overall, I gotta look it up really quick to see how many we brought in total. Um, do you remember, Myra, or you don't know off the top of your head, huh?
For the lead?
Yeah, how many total came in through Messenger?
Oh, through Messenger. If I'm guessing now, at least 8 to 10, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I'm looking it up right here.
That
You're right.
actually
Yeah,
was
you're
one.
right. So it was a total of 10 that came in.
Oh, okay.
So a total of 10. So basically about $10 per lead per each one, because we spent a total of $100 in a series in a matter of well, we ended up changing it, remember? So initially the first offer, so this was the case. So initially we wanted to go with an offer that was so it was 25% off the hair service, right? The hair color service,
Yes.
and the free conditioning treatment. And
Yes.
then it was a $30 or $40, what was it? The
Oh,
wash
if they came to the $30 wash
and
and
blowout.
blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$30 wash and blowout on the second visit
Mm.
that came in. And so initially that one was really slow. I think that one only brought in like 3. Um, However, and you'll hear from Myra in a second about the differences in the two different offers, is it was really slow. And so we were $50 in. And so at the $50 mark, I was like, I was really trying to get you somebody that was going to come in. And so I was like, all right, Myra, we have to do something. We have to change it. I'm going to go back to our original offer, since I had done this once before with another trial client. And we ended up changing it to a 25% off free cut, and the same $30 deep the conditioning treatment, and then the I think we took out the wash and blowout. I took it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so we added the free cut in there and took out the wash and blowout. And then that's when a little bit more activity started picking back up. And so from that, you said the first one came in from the first initial offer, correct?
Yes.
Can you give me some feedback on that first lead that came in?
Yeah. So the first lead, like you said, it was just from the 25% off color and the conditioning treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So she was great the whole time. As we started communicating, she was great with communication, which I loved, because I feel like that tells a lot about a person, just with communicating, texting back and forth. So I thought, oh, she's great. So I put her down on the books. I confirmed her appointment. She showed up. We, of course, had a discussion about her hair prior to seeing her that day. And then we discussed it a little bit more when she was sitting on the chair. So she knew the expectations. So we did the color. Everything turned out beautiful. And then I ended up upselling actually the haircut with her.
That's awesome.
And never once did she ask, oh, how much is it going to be prior to it? Maybe trying to calculate how much it was going to be for her with the discount. She never asked. I think she was ready to just do her hair and just try somebody. She had just moved into the area, so she thought it was a great opportunity to try somebody new. So she ended up scheduling back before she left in 5 weeks to continue to work on her hair goal.
To continue, right? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because she knew that it was going to take a little bit of time to get to her actual hair goal that she had. Because some people, in general, just need at least 2 to 3 sessions,
right,
to get to where they need to be. And then, of course, after that, they'll stick with you for, your haircuts, touch-ups, and all that. So she was great. Everything turned out good.
Yeah, I think that. So that was one of the things that we had discussed, was that with marketing tactics or strategies like this, like the ones that we were deploying, and I had mentioned it's I'm sure you still made, well, I'm sure you still made some money up front from her coming in. You said you were able to upsell her to a haircut. Um,
Mm.
and however, what I like to always tell business owners, and when you're taking on something like this, is that the goal is not really to make all your money up front, right? I mean, it would be great if we were to be able to bring in new leads at full price and um, full prices for all your services. That'd be great. However, with something like this, it's not, the goal is not to make the money up front. And so I always, when you're doing something like this, I always advise business owners, like, it's an opportunity to get somebody new in your chair, or wherever, whatever type of business is, in the door, so that you can leave a good impression. It's like I'm sure you spent like an hour or so, or 2 hours, however long, with her.
With her,
Talk. Was it a long time?
4 hours.
4 hours. So it was a tough one. So
Long hair, very thick, and of course, it's hard to tell when obviously you're not a hairstylist personally, but the girls will know when yeah.
in 4 hours. Okay. So the goal is, in those however many hours, in your case 4 hours for this specific one, is to make a good impression, do a great job, show this person that you know what you're doing, you know let them go out and walk out the door with a good service, and so that way they can come back, right? And in this case, you said she did reschedule, yes?
She did, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So get them to come back, because on the second visit, you no longer have to pay any marketing. You don't no longer have to pay for that person to come in the door. Now you're going to make all your money on that second service, and anything else that happens from there. You leave a good impression, you do a good service. And not only that, but then they will refer you, if they know anybody else in the area and they ask. And I think that's a majority of the hairstylists business model, right? It's like a lot of it is word of mouth, would you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that just feeds that bucket. You have, for the most part, most business owners maybe have different streams of income or different streams of producing business, and one of them is always going to be word of mouth. Maybe you're spending some money on marketing, different channels of marketing, and so that fills up the bucket of the word of mouth, stream of business. um Cool. So I'm really excited. I'm glad that that one worked out. And then
Yes.
from the second round, the last $50 that we spent, which that one I expanded that one over a period of 10 days. So that one ran for a little bit longer. That one you said you were able to schedule two more, but one canceled, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Can
Yes.
you share some feedback on those other two, that, or the other one that came in?
Yes. So the other girl that came in, again, just from the beginning, communication was awesome. She was there on time, showed up, and she shared some pictures before I saw her of what she wanted. And then we briefly talked about it over texting, and then once I saw her, we also had a consultation. So
Cool.
I always make sure I have a really good consultation pretty much prior and when they're sitting down on the chair. So they know what to expect, and I know exactly what they want, or I can tell them what I can do for today.
Right.
But yeah, and hers actually took a total of 3 hours. And yes, this one was the one that got the free haircut.
Mm-hmm.
So that took 3 hours. Everything turned out beautifully. She was really happy. We were kind of, I feel like, fixing what she had done 5 months ago with the other hairstylist. That's why you
Mm-hmm.
saw the picture. It was very red and orangey.
Yeah, maybe we'll share that one.
Yeah. So anyways, she knows it was going to be a process and it was going to take some time. So yeah, we took before and after pictures. She rescheduled back in 5 weeks or so. and she was very happy. She actually texted me and told me that she got a lot of compliments from people.
Cool.
And she was recommending me, so that was great. That was great. Yeah.
That's a win. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw the so she left you a review on your Facebook page, and I saw the before and after, and yeah, you did amazing. It was completely night and day difference. It was completely different. So that was really cool. Awesome. So really quick, can you give us some just some insight, some background information on your demographic, because we have talked the demographic of the area that you work in, because that definitely is, it plays a huge role in where you're marketing. You know, different different areas are going to be a different demographic, and maybe we discussed a little bit of like maybe it's more upscale, maybe it's areas or other older people, like different things are going to work in different areas. Can you give us some insight a little bit on the demographic of the area that you work in?
Sure.
From your
So
experience.
I've been working in that same area for about 6 years, and I've been in this actual salon for 5 years. So I've kind of gotten an idea of how, you know, like you're saying, the demographics around there. So it's definitely people that have, you know, they have the money to pay for their services or what they're looking for. I feel like it's very, people are very into aesthetics and the way they look, and it's very trendy, at least even nowadays in general, you know, aesthetics, and people just want to look good, feel good about themselves and all this and that. So when you and I obviously were talking about making the offer and things, I didn't want to do initially, you know, of course, like 25% off color, and then because I just felt like, especially because I've been in the industry for a couple of years now, I'm not like brand new out of school, and I'm pretty established in my salon. He just happened to come in at a great time, like, you know, wanting to trial, and I was like, hey, that's great. Like, I got nothing to lose. I was like, that's awesome. So, and of course, within the past couple of years, I've kind of really stepped my foot down, because when it comes to pricing my work. So before, I feel like I used to be very lenient, and I feel like I've kind of worked myself up to the point where I'm like, okay, this is what I'm worth, and this is what people, you know, can pay for, and I know they can pay for it, whatever. So, so yeah, I guess not to get so much off track, I just know what I want and what I'm worth. So initially, I told Angel, or, you know, I was telling you, I only wanted to do the 25% off, because I feel like that's already a lot, you know, it's just a good percentage off, you know, off of color. And I didn't want to sound off, like, especially with the audience probably that was going to be looking at my offer. I didn't want to come off like super cheap, like, why is she so cheap with, you know, 25% off, and then a haircut? Is she a newbie? Is she not?
Right.
So that's why we kind of ended up just with you know, taking off 25% off initially. And, you know, I was okay with it. Sometimes you do have to take a little risk to meet new people, or, you know, get some new people in the door. And I do absolutely love what I do. So sometimes you do have to take opportunities, like, you know, put the work out there, and then it's, you know, it's gonna eventually bring in other people.
Yeah, definitely.
But to kind of like wrap this up, I feel like we got the results. I feel like we got great results with this, considering the area where I'm at. And I wasn't really expecting much more, but it was perfect for me, because I felt like I ended up getting 2 people in the door. They were strong leads, and they rescheduled. So I think, you know, those were keepers. So I won too, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, like, I may even get more people just even from those 2 word of mouth. But I think it was great. I think
Awesome.
it was great. I think if it's obviously somebody looking for a lot of traffic, maybe you're new in the industry, you know, you do want to offer maybe a little more, but
To get more traffic
it
in, yeah.
depends on what stylist really wants and what she really or he envisions for their you know, business.
Their business, yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that, and thank you for sharing the feedback, your response with everything. I think you do amazing work. I don't think anybody will ever think that you're cheap or you're anything like that. Just kind of going through your Facebook and Instagram, you definitely do great work. So I definitely understand. You don't want to devalue your service, and there's always a little bit of like play with that. It's like you gotta,
Yeah,
there's a little bit of in the middle, trying to play in the middle and compromise. Like I know my worth, and a little bit
yes,
of like also trying to give to bring new people in, and of course, and
yes,
I'm glad you understand that. Um,
yes,
just keep up on your Facebook, keep up on your Instagram, and just keep
yes.
pushing stuff out there because yeah, people got to see your work. People,
And
yeah.
also to add, since you brought that up, I do definitely think that, you know, people wanting to invest in like doing the offers, Facebook stuff like that,
Hmm.
it's gonna be tremendous like difference if you are social media. Like you definitely have to keep up with the social media because I do feel like that has a lot to do with it. I
Hmm.
mean, that's how people work right now is social media, and they like
Yeah.
to see pictures and all this and that. So I think that also will make a difference
Yeah.
with the traffic.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't know if it was with you or with another trial, but I think somebody had asked. Did anybody ask for your Instagram or anything like that? Do you know?
Yeah, actually, I think I had one or two when they actually texted me.
They asked
Because
for.
I texted a couple of people. A lot of people didn't send out their numbers, and it didn't really go all the way through. But
Hmm.
that's another thing. You never know. They may reach out in a month,
Right.
you know,
Exactly. Yeah.
in Messenger. At least you already have like that connection there. Like they know you're there. So I
Absolutely.
think. Mhm.
Awesome. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with that. We're at this point where we ran it maybe uh, 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago or so,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it just ended this past Friday.
Mhm.
And yeah, so now we're just kind of going back on the results. So I think we would wrap this up, and want to thank you for your time, Myra. Thank you for letting me do this with you and use you as a trial. And I'm glad that it worked out. I'm glad that you got some new clients out of it. It worked out for both of
Yes.
us.
Yes. Thank you.